Hi there. I'm Connie Kircher and I serve as your elite entrepreneur coach. I am super excited that you are watching this video. If this is your first time to my channel, make sure that you push subscribe, like this video. And again, I love in the comment section to know how you heard about my channel and where you are watching in from. So put that in the section below. So for this video, per the title, we're going to talk about preparation, right? We're going to talk about how important the pre-planning stage of any of your strategies, any of your blitzes, your marketing plans, your networking experiences, really the secret sauce is in this pre-planning stage, okay? So we're gonna have about 10, 15 minutes together, like I do in these weekly trainings, to really give you 3 to 5 strategies. Tonight is be 3 that I'm able to lean in and really help you leverage how much you should actually be preparing and doing pre-planning in your business. So really, I come alongside in terms of one-on-one coaching, group coaching. I do international retreats for female business owners. And I always find that this is kind of a miss, that we go into activation because it's like, stay consistent, stay active, make sure you're doing your time blocks. But this whole front end, the runway to your strategy, the runway to your sales block, the runway before you go and meet with the client is sometimes a miss. Okay. So there are 3 R's I want you to write down and get out of your head onto paper in this training so that you can elevate your strategy around pre-planning. There is so much research that says if you can front load your outcomes, your deliverables, the framework that you want from that blitz, from that meeting, from that initiative, it has a 75% better chance of getting completed, executing the actual plan, meeting the target goal that you set. So there really is this, this runway that needs to happen and needs to be part of your calendar. Okay. So the very first R is going to be your research. Okay. When you look at this week, have you researched your appointments to know where are they coming from? How did they get on your calendar? When you're attending maybe someone else's event, have you researched the owners of that so that you have some pre-conversation that you can talk about and be seated for you? But there's all this front loading that when you do the research, it builds your confidence because you feel more prepared to talk into that, to lean into that, to make suggestions, to have more meaningful conversations. But if you just roll into a Zoom meeting, roll into a virtual networking experience, or literally roll into someone's office and you don't really have the research tab done, it does hinder you because you just don't know how to navigate some of the familiarity, the similarities, the research of what was going on in terms of that event, that company, that business owner. So I always like to say for every duration of meeting, I do about, 10 to 15%, right? So I'm always mindful of like, okay, if I'm gonna have an hour meeting, at least a 5-10 minute jam session that I am looking, researching, doing a little bit of, kind of behind the scenes, work so that I know, okay, this is where they're coming from. This is how long they've been in business. We have mutual experiences in this. We have mutual or complementary programs that maybe we could, be of service to. This is their audience needs. This is my audience needs. So the first R in your pre-planning stage, just to elevate your strategy overall, this is now how you keep scaling and growing, is that you are going to start doing active research at the beginning of the week for all of your meetings. I don't think it's sustainable to do it daily. So I am going to put a little asterisk on the first R is if you think, 8 a.m. or 9 a.m. every day, you're going to look at your meeting book and look at what you need to create, and you're going to do the research then, and then it's Tuesday, and then it's Wednesday. I think at some point that's not going to be sustainable. So that is why I always say front load it for the week, jam out the research nuggets that you need, get your agendas together, get your pre-speaking points for that networking experience on Thursday that's already on your calendar, but make sure that you're doing this research phase. Okay. The second is reach. Write that down, is reach. Is in this pre-planning stage, I am always looking at what is the reach and the impact I'm trying to have by having this meeting, having this interaction, potential sponsorship, having this sales conversation, attending this event. I'm always going, what is my reach? Like, am I trying to reach a key player and get to know, their circle of influence and what they're, expanding in? What is my reach? Am I trying to reach to someone that I'm having connect with? And I'm really wanting to segment in a certain marketplace. And that's going to be my specific ask is, hey, if you have any, referral partners or strategic partners that would maybe be a good fit, this is the reach we're looking for this quarter. So it's a powerful word that when you meet with individuals or when you have, even a sales conversation, I'll talk about, okay, so if we do this group, coaching experience, the idea, the reach that I'm doing is really to, steward 10 individuals so that we have 4 months together. I cap it in that way so that we have enough, depth and customization, but still you get the synergy of other individuals. So that's the reach that I want every participant to feel so that they can implement as needed. So it's a word I don't hear a lot of small business owners articulate when they're doing their 30-second commercial, when they're doing social media content, when they're negotiating if this would be a good fit for you to spend time doing a collaborative event, doing a showcase experience, doing a podcast. Over and over and over, I see so many of my clients say yes, 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 yes. And then again, they activate. They did no pre-planning of that sponsorship opportunity, that event, that, ad space, if you will, that speaking opportunity. Asking the question is, what is the reach? So sometimes it's what the reach you are wanting to see by that initiative. But more importantly, it's when others are asking you to put dollars on the line, time on your line, collaborative experiences on your line. It is a wonderful pre-planning conversation to say, well, what is the reach, would we deem as successful? Or what is the reach of the viewership, the readership, the newsletter, so that you have a good gauge if this is something you actually do want to move to your calendar to invest your time in, invest your resources in. It is a wonderful CEO language that you should hear yourself or Connie sitting on your shoulder, lots of energy, always smiling, being your little angel on your shoulder of, well, what does the actual reach look like? It's a wonderful evaluative pre-planning question. Okay. So we've got research, right? As the first start, we have reach as your qualifier on the front end to make sure that you are stewarding your time and resources well. And then my last but not least, to be honest with you, is repeatable. I see so many people and clients do one and dones, right? They go to that one day event, they sign up for that one masterclass, they do one masterclass themselves, they do a evergreen content, they do an open house concept, they do a work session, available to their clients. But is it repeatable? Okay. And so on the front end of any of your initiatives, anything that you go, oh, I'm going to go sign up for this networking group. Well, the cadence of the networking group might be 16 times in 16 weeks. Is that repeatable for you? Can you sustain that? Right. Or you go, okay, I'm going to build out this 90-minute tutorial class and I'm going to do it one time, but is it repeatable so that you could do it quarterly? Because maybe that's more of the investment that you need to be making up on the front end of your time, your content, your marketing, than just doing it one time. Okay. So the third R in you making sure that you're front loading the research, right? You're front loading and make sure that the reach makes sense is that you are really honing in. And if something is not repeatable, again, I don't love to work in really black or white. I think that you need to build the self-trust of figuring out that this is more of an art than a science of growing your business, scaling your business, leveraging your strengths and your services and your products the way that meet the end goal of you as the, visionary CEO. But I really would hone in and highly, I had to choose my word there, highly recommend that a one and done does not build a sustainable business model. I don't care how great it is, how wonderful it is. There's always going to be people that couldn't have attended. There's always going to be so much that you learned from the first time putting it out in marketplace, the second time that you don't know why it worked or why it didn't work. So then you can't repeat it again. So I would just really encourage you to do some evaluation time, that if you are going to go do the podcast, can you do a couple of them over the year so that you build rapport? That could be the fourth bonus R. You build rapport with the audience, because just a one and done splash tends to not get a lot of traction. Okay. If you're going to do something with the chamber, you're going to do something with a local, business partnership, just doing it once, it may be a splash, but it is not going to be a continuous pipeline. Okay. So asking that question, negotiating from that place, being really proactive of, hey, if I'm going to do this training for your team, or if I'm going to do a lunch and learn, because it's a wonderful opportunity for you to do that in someone's office or someone's small business, because you're like, no, like we have synergy. This would be an ideal way that individuals could utilize my services. Go one step further and pre-plan and say, hey, if we're going to do this one in the spring, I love to do things that are repeatable, because we're going to have new people. There's going to be new topics, and again, some people can't attend this one. Why don't we repeat this in the summer? And then why don't we repeat again in the fall? And then we'll evaluate at the end of the year. That front loading of conversations, negotiations, commitments will absolutely compound. Absolutely. Again, the third one, I'm going to say, figure out your cadence, figure out what that looks like. But if you could start articulating as a CEO of your business, how do I make this repeatable? How do I make sure that what we learn and how much time it takes to create the first one? It takes a lot. And then you only splash it into the market once. Like, no, like splash it 10 times. And so you don't have to keep inventing something new or creating something new or innovating something new. So if you can't tell, I'm a little passionate about pre-planning. I'm a little passionate about when you are elevating your strategy language, the strategy muscle as an entrepreneur. We're so used to being able to just be in execution mode, or again, we really don't do a lot of evaluation, which could be an entire other training. But for today and for tonight and for whenever you are watching this training, I hope that I have inspired and aspire to be a business owner that asks these front-loaded questions with more intentionality, more confidence, so that when you get into actual planning stage and actual execution of that, and then the review stage of where your dollars went, where your time went, where your collaborations went, where your partnerships went, you'll actually have some confidence that you laid the runway that makes sense to you, and that you're not at the mercy of that partnership, that sponsorship, that event. Okay. Because we've all been there where we didn't do the front loading, and then it didn't serve us well as we executed. And then it's like, yeah, hindsight is 2020. So I'm trying to make your eyesight and hindsight and all the sights be on the front end before we start actually executing. So I hope that this is helpful. I hope this is very tangible and practical for you. That's really important as your coach, to know that I don't want to just leave you with ideas or thoughts, or, just to feel good and energetic with Connie. I actually want you to have strategies that you can implement, you can infuse. And tomorrow you can start looking at your calendar and really recognize, do you have these 3 R's built into your calendar, built into that meeting? And if not, you can start getting 10% better every single month by adding that to your language, your calendar, and the way that you scale your business moving forward. So again, I hope that this was of service. If you are interested in one-on-one coaching or know more about my group coaching that I offer twice throughout the annual year, and then every September, I host the Women's Elite Entrepreneur Retreat in Mexico. Would love to be able to connect on any 3 of those ways to coach you, to serve you, to elevate you, and really make sure that you are building the best sustainable business model for the future. So in the link of the description here of the video here is a 30-minute consultation that I offer everybody to know what it's like to provide, you some insights from my strategy coaching, see if we would be a good fit, and see if any 3 of those would be ideal in your professional development journey. So I hope to see you on the calendar. I hope to see you actually virtually sooner than later. And again, make sure that you have it liked and subscribed. And I will see you all at the next video for more strategy tips and elevating your CEO mindset. Have a wonderful day. Bye.